It's 12:30 a.m. on Thursday night, technically Friday morning. I think. It's really okay. You know how they on every movie and television show, when they're asking if someone's sane, they try to remember what day of the week is. They ask them what day of the year. I think I would be in trouble just because with COVID and everything else, half the time I don't know what day of the week is because I'm like, well, every day is kind of the same to me right now. It's like, okay, I'm sick. I'm dealing with it. It's like, doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I think I actually might go to sleep tonight and sleep some. I don't know how long because I'm actually tired. Granted, I've also scarfed down a gallon or like 32 ounces of, I think it was a throat tea. And then this is a tea that has Valareian in it, which is kind of a herb that typically knocks you out. Actually, the first tea had chamomile in it and some other herbs, and this one is has got the Valareian in it. And I wasn't going to buy this tea again because I wasn't sure it was going to work. Because a couple times I've had it and it doesn't make me go to sleep at all. But tonight I'm like, I think I actually might close my eyes and go to sleep. Which is good because last night I was up until 6 a.m. and then I slept from 6 until 1. I'm sleeping. The problem is I'm not sleeping. The problem is not me not sleeping. It's the fact that for some reason my clock is all screwed up. And I don't know if it's because I'm in an apartment with no sun and no windows, or if it's just something weird with my thyroid, with my Hashimoto's disease, where it messes with my biological clock, so it thinks I'm supposed to go to sleep at 6 in the morning. It's like as soon as the sun comes up, I want to go to sleep. And I've had issues with seasonal depression. I had huge issues on the East Coast where I would get depressed or not be happy in the wintertime. I was like, oh, I hate this time. And here in California, it is incredibly cold. Like so cold that I actually wore a winter coat when I went out tonight to go to the to go to the store. Or earlier today, I should say, I went to a dollar store to get some stuff. But I don't buy food at the dollar store in California. People, when I was working on sets, kept trying to push me to buy stuff at the dollar store. And I did. I was shopping at a dollar store for stuff, but I realized that sometimes the food is at the dollar store for sale because there's something wrong with it. It's either expired or it says it's gluten-free and it really isn't, because I've gotten some stuff that was supposed to be gluten-free and then gotten sick off of it. I was like, okay, this is not gluten-free. I'm not celiac. I don't have a celiac disease, but I think it also maybe the stuff with gluten also may have yeast in it because I can't have gluten at all. I feel like I should have been keeping a diary this entire time about what it's like to have Hashimoto's disease and a thyroid disease so that people understand. This past year I lost my voice, and it's because like the thyroid wraps around the larynx. Like I kind of thought if my thyroid swelled up I would stop breathing, but the reality is the first thing that's going to happen if my thyroid swells is I'll not be able to talk because it's literally wrapped around my voice box. That's the thyroid. It's like a butterfly shaped organ that in the larynx, your throat, your voice box is just sitting right inside of it. So when it gets inflamed for me with my thyroiditis and goes like this, it cuts it off and I can't speak. It doesn't hurt, oddly enough. Like when I couldn't talk, I just opened my mouth and no sounds would come out. And I was like, okay. Which I realized, and I'm taking some people out there like, yay, because you're a bunch of bullies. Yeah, I've already said that. I wish there were less bullies in the world, and I wish bullies realized how much their toxic energy affects people physically. Because I honestly think that I would not be as sick as I am if it hadn't been for years of bullying and abuse and years of manipulation. Like, I wanted to work, I wanted a job, but I didn't want a traditional job. There are all kinds of ways that people work. Me doing research, writing a script, writing stories, writing articles was my way of working. Even acting to me was working. Being on a set to me was working. And the very fact that the people involved with stalking me, I believe, are either police officers, law enforcement, or a former vet tech guy who apparently did some theater at some point, he should understand the fact that if you're passionate about doing acting, you're passionate about it, and killing someone's passion is not the way to make someone go to work. It's the exact opposite way of making someone want to get up and do things positive for other people. And frankly, I think that trying to make someone change who they are as an adult, when they've already spent years developing their own personality and their own perspective, that's not healthy. Not at all. I mean, it's almost like, I feel almost as though I graduated from high school, went to college, and in college for the first time I was allowed to be who I wanted to be. I was allowed to be the person that I wanted to become. I had the opportunity to be able to study things that I didn't do in high school and do things that I didn't have the opportunity to do in high school. And sorry, these are crooked because I sat on them. I sat on my glasses. Okay. But, you know, it's... So people from high school might think I was crazy for saying I'm an actor. But the reality is I spent the best years of my life in college, the best time of my life was spent in the theater in college. I loved it. And I did. And I met good people who, unfortunately, we lost touch with each other. And, you know, I don't know who this Cassandra Taylor is. She seems to be someone who knows Angela Bertolini, who runs Hollywood OS. And Hollywood OS, they kicked me off the site, and it's very specific. I said someone molested me. Well, if you go back and look at headlines from 2008 when this happened, the word molest is in headlines in the news. So is sexual assault. So her saying that she was preventing me from posting on the site because she thought that what I said was inappropriate? No, it wasn't. It wasn't inappropriate at all. Because I was actually telling the truth that this guy did this to me. And what she did, Angela Bertolini, was basically protect the guy that did it to me. And that's really what happened. I wanted to work. I wanted to be left alone. And the thing is, it's like I was working, doing my job on sets, working and studying at Santa Monica College to be an editor and a filmmaker. I had plans for my life. I really didn't deserve any of this. I wasn't out to hurt Jeremy. I literally wanted Jeremy to leave me alone. I even sent him an email saying there's enough work in this town for both of us. Don't come in my space. And I think someone either thought that was a threat. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on a set. I'm working on a set. He's on the set. There's no reason for him to actually come near me unless, for whatever reason, the production wants us standing together. Like, I was literally on a set where he was positioned far away from me, and he would come over and get in my space. Like, he couldn't stay away from me for some reason. And he was drunk, typically. He was high, typically. He really probably shouldn't have been on set at all, based on his demeanor and attitude. He's in a podcast where he's not innocent. He's not innocent. And me, his wife went to the same college I did. I graduated a virgin. I turned down the one guy who tried to push me to have sex with him, Steve Misser, which ironically, Steve Misser did the exact same thing to me that Jeremy did when I was asleep, except for when I rejected him, he broke up with me. So I didn't consummate anything with Steve Misser. And it makes me wonder, though, because Steve Misser still lives in the area where my college is, if Steve may have known Alana. You know, it's just like, let's destroy Laura based on rumors and gossip without finding out the fact that I went from McDaniel College to Roundhouse Theater. Roundhouse Theater was my first job out of college, working in a theater. And then I went and got a master's in performing arts management. And I did go to law school. And people from my college knew I went to law school because I got letters of recommendation in order to go to law school. And everyone knew on the East Coast I was big on the entertainment industry. I even got Cardozo Law School and New York Law School both sent me like recruit letters. They actually wanted to recruit me after I took the LSAT to go to law school in New York. And unfortunately, I didn't have the courage to actually do that, which was something that I think my parents instilled in me, a fear because my parents were GOP Republican Christian, and they wanted the only people to be in my life was them. I think when I got the scholarship to college, it kind of threw them off. It completely destroyed their plans for my life. And I don't think my family understands the fact that, what do I do? Because I'm not a real estate agent. Like, everything I wanted to do would be me working from home. Like, there's a part of me that could possibly want to be a reader for actors, because I could do that, because I'd be good at it. I'd be good at it. And it would be fun for me, and I could just sit at home and help actors audition and stuff. But then there's a part of me that's like, do I do that and risk the possibility of someone actually being on Jeremy's team or being on Alana's team? And I know Cassandra Taylor's probably going to watch this and, no, this is going to work with you. I'm like, you don't know me, Cassandra. And whoever hired you or whoever you are, you're a fraud. Because I didn't do anything wrong on a set. Being on sets meant too much to me. I would never sleep with someone to get ahead. I had 4 SAG vouchers. I'm a legit member of SAG-AFTRA. I had 2 shorts and festivals in 2011, Chemical 13 and ABS, 2 legitimate SAG contracts. And I wasn't looking to have like the $1 million house in Beverly Hills. You know, I wasn't looking to be this celebrity star. I just wanted to work and do projects I loved. I had scripts that I wanted to make. I had movies I wanted to make. I don't see myself achieving any of the goals that I set for myself now. And I have no goals to go back to Maryland and settle down and be married and take care of someone's kids. I don't want to be a housewife. And I wanted to be a mother, but I think it's too late. Like, I'd have to have a miracle to have a child now. Like, I'm pretty sure that I would need a miracle for that to happen. And I don't want to have a child with someone who I can't stand living with, talking to, or can't be friends with. And if the person isn't someone who is artistic, creative, and a liberal, and rational, and doesn't want me going to church on Sunday, but also has ethics and morality and a sense of right and wrong, and accepts me for me, and is also someone I find attractive. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, we're animals. There's a part of me that needs to feel like there's a connection there, physical, mental, all of it. And I haven't found that. And the reason why I haven't found that is because when I understand people who connect to human emotions more than I understand someone who connects to a computer. Like, I am not interested in being with someone who just has a job and a paycheck, but who cannot actually connect with me on an emotional level, cannot be my best friend, cannot love the same things I love. I actually wanted to rewrite all of Shakespeare, or I have a 60-page script I keep thinking I want to finish. Again, that's what I should do, is finish the script. Finish it, and then everyone will be shocked, because it's different. It's very different. But, and again, different may not be good, because some people like those two different. But, I don't know, I'm kind of proud of it. It needs work. I like the beginning, I like the end. Like, if I were to actually find somebody who wanted to make my movie, I would be like, okay, the beginning stays the same, the ending stays the same. If you want to help me rewrite the middle, it's okay. And I play this character, because I wrote a character for myself. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I'm going to. It's 60 pages, plus I have a second short that I wrote that's technically the same characters. So technically I have about 80 pages written. And if I combine the two and mesh it through, it'll probably be a 90-page script. Maybe. But again, I think that I need more. Like, it needs more work. So I think I'd rather have like 90-page starter script than nothing. You know, like, there's characters I could build up more, give them more things to do. Not just my character that I wrote for myself, because I want to cut some stuff that I am from my character and mesh that down a little bit. Because I have a monologue that I wrote trying to explain something. I'm thinking, I don't need to write a monologue. All I have to do is spell out one word and it explains all of it. Yeah, I'm actually cutting lines from my own character. Because it's not about me having screen time. It's about the story being good. The story being interesting. And I think like a literary writer, I think. It's like, I'm thinking themes, and I'm thinking like messages that I want to tell with the story. and this through line, which is why I like the beginning and the end. And it's the stuff in between I have to fix in order to make it more exciting and more interesting, and I think a little bit more scary too, because it's more of a thriller than a horror story at this point, even though it's a ghost story. I need to do something about that. I need to make the ghost a little more scary. I may add a second ghost. I've been thinking about that. I think I should add a second ghost. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Wow, you know, doing this diary thing really helps me. At that, I'm going to bed.